Hello and welcome to today's session. Now today we will see some multiple choice based questions based on spectroscopy. The first question, the maximum carbonyl stretching frequency will be observed in. So we have to tick the correct one. Before that we must know the reason for it. So first compound is lactone, second is lactone with reverse conjugation, lactone with normal conjugation, and this is alpha beta unsaturated ketone. So ketone and these are lactones. So obviously lactones will have higher carbonyl stretching frequency, but this will have maximum because of the reverse conjugation. Reverse conjugation will pull the electrons in this direction and contract this bond. So this frequency will be maximum. The reason is reverse conjugation. Second question, which of the following is IR inactive? Now according to selection rule, the molecule is supposed to be IR active provided there is change in dipole moment, and then it will absorb the IR light. So in all these molecules, these are terminal alkynes. This is symmetrical and non-terminal alkynes. So symmetrical, so this is going to be non-active because you will not find any change in dipole moment when this compound is subjected to IR light. In fact, it will be active in Raman line. The remaining terminal alkynes are going to be IR inactive, so this is going to be non-active. Find the strongest bond. Now for finding the strongest bond, Hooke's equation you have to remember. Nu is equal to 1 upon 2 pi c, these are constants, square root k upon mu. K is force constant and mu is the reduced mass. So you have to find out the reduced mass of this and this. So M1 M2, in this case it will be 12 into 1 by 12 plus 1, so that is 12 by 13, so 0.9 something. Okay, for CD it will be 12 into 2 by 12 plus 2, so 24 by 14, only 1.7. I am just roughly putting the figures. This will be 12 into 3 by 12 plus 3, 36 by 15, this is 2 point something, say 2 and then 4, and CC will be 12 into 12 by 12 plus 12, this is 144 by 24, this is 6. So from this expression, the Hooke's law of elasticity, the frequency is inversely proportional to reduced mass. So CC will be the minimum, then comes CT, then comes CD, and CH will be highest because it has got the smallest reduced mass, and from this expression frequency is indirectly proportional. Now 1 upon mu, so mu should be less, so frequency will be high, so it is inversely proportional. So for all these big values frequency will be less, for this it will be high, so the correct option is first. Then next one, which compound has strongest hydrogen bond? Now hydrogen bond exists when donor and acceptor groups within a molecule or within two different molecules exist. So it will be either intermolecular hydrogen bond between two different molecules or intramolecular if it is happening within the same molecule. Now in this case I will just draw the hydrogen bond. Now this is acceptor, this is donor, so this is hydrogen bond. This is precisely intramolecular hydrogen bond between the two functional groups within the molecule. So this is intramolecular, and definitely this will have more impact, this will have the more energy, and it will affect the carbonyl stretching frequency as well as hydroxyl stretching frequency. In other cases, you may have or you may get the different like it will be intermolecular. So, intermolecular will be obviously weaker than intramolecular. So, this is going to be the correct option. Now, moving on to the next one, the pi star transition with minimum energy is observed in. Now, there are 4 options, all are olefins. So, first one is 1,3-butadiene, 1,3,5-hexatriene, 1,3,5-7 octatetraene, and this is going to be 1,4-pentadiene. Okay. So, this is isolated. So, isolated is out of question. So, this will have minimum number. So, that is out of contest. This will have the minimum energy. Now, minimum energy, how to relate it? You have to relate it to the equation E is equal to Hc by lambda. So, this compound will have highest lambda max value, that means the energy will be lowest, and so on. So, 4 double bonds in conjugation, obviously this will be much low. In case of the compounds like lycopenes, which is a compound present in tomatoes, the energy will be like they appear red because they are pi star transition, like the conjugation is there, and longest conjugation range means lambda max is high and automatically energy will be less. So, the correct option is third. Moving on to the next example, which of the following has highest lambda max? Now, whenever this kind of question comes, you have to actually calculate. So, let us calculate for the first one, 254, because it is homoannular diene, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 substituents, so that is 20, and 2 exocyclic bonds, that is 10. So, 284 nanometer. Now, this is the lambda max for first compound. Okay. Second compound, heteroannular, so it will be 215, and the substituent I will mark 1, 2, and that is all. 2 substituents, that is 10, exocyclic only 1, so that is 230. Here it is 1 substituent, second, third substituent, 215 plus 15 plus 1 exocyclic, 235, and this is isolated diene. So, we cannot calculate the lambda max for the same. So, first option is correct because it has 2 double bonds inside the same ring, that is homoannular diene. So, automatically the base value is itself is higher than remaining one. So, you need not have to calculate, but I am just showing it how to look at the example. If they are very close, then you have to look at the substituents and so on. Okay. Moving on to the next example, the number of sets of protons or types of protons, you can say in common words, in this molecule. This is methicillin R, like how many are there? So, these methyls, they represent one set, that goes without any problem, and these hydrogens, although they are not written, they are chemically equivalent at least. So, there are 2 sets of protons, one is methyl protons, the other one is nuclear hydrogens or aromatic protons. So, the correct option is second. Moving on to the next example, the most upfield protons are found in. Now, upfield protons, if you recollect the NMR spectrum, I will just put it here. this is TMS, which is 0 delta, and this way we go 1, 2 and then 10, and after that offset protons. So upfield, this is upfield shift. So chemical shift value less means upfield protons, chemical value more means downfield protons. So this, the other direction is downfield. So obviously we have to know the chemical shift value of these protons. So the underlying protons, to be precise, this is around 2.5 delta, this is 4.5 delta, the underlying protons we are talking about. This is around 6 delta and this is 9.5 delta. So if you look at these figures or these chemical values, chemical shape values, the acetylenic proton, this substituted acetylene proton is upfield because it has got least chemical shape value in the given set, and most downfield would be the aldehydic proton. Okay. Then moving on to the ninth example, ninth question. In PMR spectroscopy, resonance occur when external frequency, the applicator frequency, equals spin-spin transition frequency, because spin-spin transition also requires some energy, and that energy, if it matches the external frequency, then one can say that the resonance phenomenon occurs, and wherein the energy, the radio frequency energy will be absorbed, and the nuclear spin states, they go to higher excited state, and only when those two energies are matching, then you get the resonance. Resonance itself is when two energies, the applicator frequency and the spin-spin transition frequency matches, then you can get the resonance. So first option is correct. The other options are either that applicator frequency is higher or lower, and none of these, that is by default it is a wrong option. Okay. Now the last example or last question rather. Find the structure with the spectral data. Molecular formula C3H6O, proton NMR, delta values 2.1 delta, singlet 6 hydrogen. That means all 6 hydrogens should be chemically equivalent, but they should also have the chemical shape value as 2.1 delta. Now let us talk about all these compounds. The first one, this is 2.1 delta, and both are chemically equivalent. So this compound will give a signal for 6 protons. So the first option is correct. Now moving on to the second option. Like this compound also has got one site of unsaturation, that is in the form of alicyclic ring. You have 3 sets. Now here I will just tell the types. Like methylenes are there, of course methylenes would have different chemical shift, I will mention that also. This methylene, which is directly attached to oxygen, will be 3.5 delta at least, and this will be like 2.5 delta. So nothing is matching, so this option is incorrect. Now moving on to the third option. Remember that all these compounds are following the norms, like molecular formula is explained. This formula has got one site of unsaturation. So this is one site, this is one site, this is one site. So all compounds are obeying that one. Now this is 3.5 at least. So it goes without saying. this is like 5.5 something, this is 4.5. So you have got 3 sets, so nothing is matching with this, so that is also incorrect. The last example in this list, this also obeys the molecular formula C3H6O, one side that is in the form of polycyclic ring, the epoxide. Now this will be like 2 roughly. This is one set, this is another set, maybe 3.5, 3 or 3.5, 3.6, like CH and CH2. CH has to be higher. So here 3 sets are there, 2 sets are there, 3 sets are there, 1 set is possible only in case of acetone. So this is going to be the correct option. So these kind of examples will definitely appear in your online exam. Even in offline exam also these kind of examples can be asked for BSc classes. This is not very strange. These kind of examples can appear, and you should be in position, like you should know what is the rationale, how one can explain, like these 3 are incorrect and only this is correct. You can always have your rationale, your answer, your justification. That's all for today. Next time I will put one set of MCQs on carbanions and the other chapter, like carbanion is one chapter, retrosynthesis they have removed, natural product they have removed, at least for this exam, and you will have those things in your next session. We will do that. So henceforth we will be concentrating more on the exam point of view rather than the teaching part. So please go through all these things. If any queries are there, you can post me. I will be glad to answer all your queries. Thank you.